Late one night, you're dragging yourself to bed after you, Modius, Pandamonica, and Melina sat down for an impromptu movie marathon. You notice a bright light spilling out in the hallway from the crack underneath Azazel's door. With a groan, you make your way over and knock on her door. FBI, open up! From inside, you hear the momentary shuffling of papers before a small voice answers you. Yes? Who is it? There's something about the angel's chipper tone that makes you question your own sanity, let alone hers. Azazel, you do realize how late it is, don't you? Whoa! Zombie Azazel! All of a sudden, the door swings open and Azazel stands before you. Though you can tell from the distant look in her eyes that she hasn't slept a wink, the angel seems unfazed by that fact. The research is too important. It's too much. Oh, hello there, Mr. Taker. Goodness me, is that late already? I should be getting to bed, shouldn't I? Yes, you should. Against your better judgment, you look past Azazel and peer into the messy room behind her. While you wouldn't describe the space as being typically tidy, there are some extra chaotic about the state of it tonight that cause you to worry for the angel's mental state. What are you working on there, anyway? Oh, my thesis. Azazel turns to look at her mess of scattered papers and leaning towers of books with a strange sense of pride in her voice. Your thesis? Indeed. I have this theory that there is a way to classify everything in existence. I see. And how have you arrived at this idea? As soon as the words leave your lips, you immediately regret them. At once, Azazel's eyes begin to shimmer with excitement. Before you can escape, she draws in a deep breath in preparation for what you can only imagine is an incredibly lengthy explanation. Well, you see, first I intend to focus solely on non-living things that are made up of physical matter. But then I realized that doing so would force me to contend with a plethora of questions regarding the qualification of life. And I, personally, am simply not interested in answering such inquiries, so I expanded my research to include living things as well. That whole conundrum, of course, got me thinking, maybe there is an arrangement to be made that I'm ignoring the fourth dimension entirely? Oh boy. In that case, shouldn't I try to include things that once existed as well as things that are yet to exist? I suppose? And while I'm at it, I really shouldn't discriminate when it comes to things that exist only within our plane of reality. That is to say, heaven, hell, and the world between. So, needn't I include things from all the realms? Wait, you mean to tell me that there are other... You know what? Never mind. What I'm gathering is this. You aim to find a way to put everything, all living and non-living things that exist in the past, present, and the future, from all realms of existence into a comprehensive classification system? Yup. And that is why you're awake at 3 in the morning? Yup. Feeling the approach of an imminent headache, you begin to massage your temples. That's quite the undertaking, Azazel. Don't you think you'd be better prepared to tackle it if you perhaps got some rest? There's no time for rest, Mr. Taker. If I plan to get my thesis finished this millennia, I must spend as much time as I can working. Very well. Then how about this? There's a museum in the city that has a whole slew of exhibits that I'm sure would be perfect for your research. If you promise to go to bed, I'll take you to there in the morning. At the mere mention of the museum, Azazel's eyes become as wide as saucers. Do you really mean it, Mr. Taker? I do. Now do we have a deal? Too right we do. Good night, Mr. Taker. Holy crap. With that, Azazel shuts the door in your face, leaving you standing alone in the shadowy hallway, quite stunned and yet in a way satisfied. As you make your way to your own bed, you peek over your shoulder just in time to see the light in the angel's room click off, plunging the corridor into total darkness. True to your word, you are up early the next morning, dressed and ready to take Azazel to the museum. Before you can so much as knock on the angel's door, it swings open, and Azazel is there, notepad in hand, bouncing on her heels with elation. Museum time? Museum time. The both of you load up into the car and set off for the city. Though the museum is a fair distance away, Azazel turns what would otherwise be quite a long, quiet, and perhaps, to some, boring drive into one filled with nauseatingly thorough lecture in every intimate detail of her thesis and the research that she's done thus far. With each passing moment, you feel as though your very presence in the universe is shrinking. Fortunately, just as Azazel is about to launch into a discussion about quantum physics, the fourth dimension, you arrive at your destination. As you shut off the engine, you turn to see your companion brimming with excitement. Before she can leave the car, however, you clear your throat to grab her attention. Hey, Azazel? What is it, Mr. Taker? Listen, I just wanted you to know that I understand there have been a lot of changes lately, what with you and everyone else moving in all at once, you know? It's just a lot to get used to. Sure, I suppose, but I don't understand what I'm trying to say is that I'm here for you if you ever need to talk about anything, you know? If something is bothering you, you don't have to, you know, keep it all balled up. Oh no, oh no. Oh no. Is this because of how late I was up last night? Well, yes. Oh, I see. The angel sighs and her shoulders sag as if every ounce of her joyous energy has left her all at once. Aw, you've never seen her look so downtrodden before. You must think I'm weird too. No, I suppose I can't blame you. I mean, not many people get quite as excited about research as I do. It's just that I'm really passionate, you know? I didn't think that was a bad thing. Azazel, if you want the truth, Mr. Taker, I've never felt happier than when I came to live with you. Being around you guys, it's like I have a family. People who accept me unconditionally, even if some aspects of me are a little odd. And because of that, I've had the comfort and freedom to pursue the things that mean the most to me. Anyway, thanks for driving me to the museum. You can come and pick me up later. Azazel, wait. I feel as though I owe you an apology. I can see that my assumptions have hurt your feelings, and for that I'm sorry. I hope you'll believe me when I say that I don't find your curiosity strange or off-putting. I only said what I said because I was worried about you. If you'll permit me, I would like to make amends in any way that I can. We've got a full day to explore this museum, and a lot of research yet to do. So tell me, how can I help? Azazel looks at you skeptically. Though it is clear that she wants to believe you, you nevertheless see traces of hurt behind her clear blue eyes. Aww. Do you mean that? I do. The angel nods, accepting your apology. Very well. Come, let's see what the museum has in store for us. You get out of the car and follow Azazel up into the museum. Inside, you are immediately presented with a directory that covers an entire wall. From the looks of things, there is so much in this museum that it will be impossible to get through all of it in one day. It's a huge museum! Most museums are like 2-hour trip tops. Nevertheless, you are determined to cover as much ground as possible with the time that you have. Oh, but I guess she is doing research on everything. Oh, that's cute! With Azazel leading the way, you spend the next several hours hopping from one exhibit to the next. As you make your way through, the angel fills notebook after notebook with her findings. As the day approaches its end, you have no less than 2 armfuls of filled notebooks between you. You've never seen someone write so much so quickly. Those are very cute. After glancing at the clock, you turn to Azazel. We've got 1 hour left, just enough time to hit one more exhibit. So what'll it be? There. Azazel points to an art exhibit of all things. One which, much like the rest of the museum, sees precious little in the way of foot traffic. The sign over the entrance reads Renaissance. With a shrug, you follow the angel inside. But once you're there, you are surrounded by white walls, marble floors, and massive well-lit paintings. As you peruse the art, you cannot help but notice that Azazel is particularly enthralled by one piece in particular. At first, you think nothing of it, but soon you hear her calling over the curator. Pardon me, sir, but I'd like to ask you about this piece here. Why, yes, ma'am. What would you like to know? Are you aware that this piece in particular is a forgery? Whoa, Azazel. All of a sudden, the murmur that had once permeated through the gallery is strangled into silence. What a few patrons linger nearby gasp at the revelation. You nearly drop the notebooks in your arms as you hurry over to Azazel, and the curator is standing. When you arrive, you notice that the curator is turning a vivacious shade of violet. I implore you to reconsider this accusation, miss. What for? I'm not lying. Oh god. That's freaking funny. Why, you are quick to step in between Azazel and the mounting rage of the art curator. The fact that you tower over the man seems to do well to subside his anger for the moment. Please relax, sir. I promise you she means no harm. The curator sputters. No harm? Did you hear what she said about my gallery? I did. And you honestly mean to tell me that you believe what she's saying? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. That's it! I want the two of you to be out of this gallery and out of this museum! From now on, you are banned! You hear me? Banned! With the stuffy little man hot on your heels, you and Azazel book it out of the museum. Once you get to the car, you dump the notebooks in the back seat and jump in to start up the engine. Before you drive off, Azazel puts her hand on your forearm. Thank you, you stuck up for me back there, even if it cost you trouble. That means a lot, I hope you know. I promise to always back you up from now on, okay? Now let's get the hell out of here. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Oh, and that's the end of this date. So, everybody, that is almost every single character. The only one left, I believe, is the queen and CEO of hell herself, Lucifer. If you're excited for that, comment that down below. Comment down below your favorite character thus far in the series, and be prepared for a lot more Second Circle content coming out very, very soon. I appreciate everyone watching this far into the video, and I think I'll have to catch you in the next one. Peace!